The Golden State Warriors just made a trade with the Brooklyn Nets for Dennis Schroder, and this savvy move by Mike Dunleavy Jr. could spell the beginning of the end for one major player on the Warriors roster. Hey, what's happening, everyone? This is Swish Culture. Just a few hours ago, Anthony Slater of The Athletic just published the inevitable trade the Warriors plan on making with the Brooklyn Nets. This trade will see the Warriors provide Brooklyn with second-round draft capital and include no first-round picks. Now, the trade has yet to be finalized as teams are only able to assess the trade market up to this point, but as December 15th rolls around, expect to hear the team announce the acquisition. The Warriors have been struggling as of recently, an issue which I started discussing in a prior video, and it seems Dunleavy Jr. is taking steps to address that. One of the biggest issues this season has been the loss of De'Anthony Melton, which gave the Warriors plenty of depth in terms of scoring and defense, as well as to take the pressure off Stephen Curry with ball handling and facilitating duties. While most expected Podziemski to be the backup point guard, and for all intents and purposes he was, considering Melton was the team's starting shooting guard, Pods had been struggling for the majority of the season. Who are the Warriors trading? Why does it make sense? And how will this keep the Warriors competitive while remaining underneath the first apron, aka first tier of luxury taxes? All this and more to be discussed today, but before that, be sure to like the video and subscribe to Swish Culture for the most analytical and entertaining NBA content on the planet. Now get ready. You're about to get big news for the Warriors as we enter the trade season. While the Warriors have historically not entertained mid-season trades, Mike Dunleavy is showing that he is serious about putting the Warriors in the driver's seat when it comes to making a push in this year's tough Western Conference. Just a few weeks ago, the Warriors lost to the Brooklyn Nets, led by none other than Dennis Schroder and the team's bench. Today, Golden State has decided they really like what Schroder can bring to the table. Schroder most notably turned down an $80 million four-year contract with the Lakers a few years ago, hoping to hit the jackpot in free agency. His agent at the time advised Schroder that he was worth more on the market, with some rumors of up to $120 million. What we're seeing from Jalen Brunson on the Knicks is pretty much what Dennis had been hoping for at the time, that a team would see his potential, give him a max contract, and possibly lead his own team with some help on a serious playoff run. While that didn't happen, it's hard to argue against why he thought it possible, considering his contribution in leading the German national basketball team to a FIBA World Cup championship in 2023 and fourth place in the Summer Olympics behind only Serbia, France, and the US. Since turning down that deal in LA, he's mostly been a backup guard in the NBA that somehow morphs into one of the grittiest players when things get dicey. So, what will it take to acquire Schroder? According to Shams Charania, the Warriors are sending 3 second-round picks as well as De'Anthony Melton's contract. The Nets will also be sending the Warriors one of their second-round picks. This means that the Warriors are losing nothing significant, and considering that Schroder is making just about the same amount as Melton, this trade can remain simple and allow the Warriors to stay beneath the salary cap. What will the Warriors get from the 31-year-old Schroder, though? One of the league's better shot creators who can also score the ball while shooting off the catch or the dribble. While Melton's absence hurt the Warriors, Pod's lack of development into that role, most notably his inability to hit a 3-ball this season, exacerbated the issue and put the Warriors behind the 8-ball in terms of the team's versatility. No secondary ball handlers or shot creators was among the primary issues for the team's slump, something I get into in another video I'll have posted for you guys in the next couple of days. Dennis Schroder will be able to fill that void for the Warriors, albeit in a lesser capacity. At 6'1" with a 6'8" wingspan, he's deceptively good on defense. That is to say, don't be fooled by his smaller size. That wingspan can get opposing guards in trouble, as he will not be a player that gets hunted on that end of the floor. Numbers-wise, Schroder is putting up 18.4 points, almost 7 assists, 3 rebounds, more than a steal in 33.6 minutes a game while starting in all 23 games for the Nets so far this season. He was in fact the lone starter that was without injury when they played against the Warriors. While he put up 33 points in that game while getting the W, that hasn't even been his best performance this season, as he just dropped 34 points and 11 assists against the Bucks 2 games ago. While Schroder is no Steph Curry, he still shoots it at 39%. He's not known for his ability to move off ball, but he can run a very competent offense, and coming off the bench for Golden State will revamp the second unit facilitating. This should allow the Warriors to maintain their current starting lineup. The only problem here is that Schroder sees himself as a starting guard, and considering what he does defensively, Steve Kerr might be tempted to play him alongside Curry in the same way we saw CP3 play next to Curry. What this means, however, is that Schroder might only be here with the team for the next few months until he goes into free agency this summer. While this may work out in some games to leave Buddy on the bench to allow the bench to have some firepower, it will place Schroder squarely in that role the Dubs were hoping Pods could fill. With Buddy playing next to Steph going forward, a likely solution for the Warriors' two-guard problem, a second unit that has Pods playing next to Schroder will take some of the facilitating load as well as pressure off of Pods and allows him to play against teams' backup units as a two-guard. Schroder is very experienced running a pick-and-roll offense, so this could likely mean a resurgence for Trace getting minutes on that second unit. And while it's obvious that Jonathan Kuminga could function well in such an offense, I'm not expecting he'll have a ton of minutes unless Kerr really goes for the wild card and either takes Kuminga out of the starting lineup or puts Schroder in it. It's imperative that JK and Steph Curry develop chemistry as the team continues to build up a resume for the playoffs. If this doesn't happen, that's going to make the Warriors season a lot less predictable. It only makes sense to have Schroder play off the bench to allow him as many scoring opportunities as possible. The tandem of Curry, Kuminga, and Hield works quite well, and with Schroder attempting over 14 field goals per game, the Warriors' currently anemic bench would probably allow him to have that many attempts per game without taking away from Steph, Kuminga, or Buddy Hield. There is, however, one major casualty of this trade that has yet to be discussed, and that is Brandon Podziemski. Pods will likely see a significantly reduced role with the addition of Schroder. At this point, it is very possible he could be out of the rotation. Shooting just 38% from the field and an even worse, less than 25% from three, Steve Kerr might be forced to put the Warriors' second-year guard outside of the 10-man rotation. Now, his last 5 games showed him shooting it at 35% from distance, but his overall field goal percentage at 39% is simply not going to work for the Warriors if he hopes to stay in the rotation. Schroder is shooting better from 3 than Pods from the field to go along with an overall field goal percentage of 45%, making him a much more productive ball handler. The fact that he's a scoring threat, can take his man off the dribble, or find guys open while playing defense will give this team a badly needed boost to offset what Pods has been lacking up to this point. While Pods may eventually figure things out, the Warriors need this move in order to find themselves in a better position as we head to the trade deadline. A lot of pressure has been placed on Jonathan Kuminga with a lot of unrealistic expectations, and this is based on social media's response to him being in the starting lineup. I have a theory on that as well, however, I'll save that for another video. Either way, Dennis Schroder is a Golden State Warrior. Let me know how you feel about that by posting your thoughts in the comments below. Before that, however, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on all your notifications so you don't miss any of my latest uploads. And thanks for watching. Till next time, swish.